Control What You Can, a story inspired by Marcus Aurelius' Stoic wisdom. It was the year 170 AD, and the Roman Empire was engulfed in turmoil. At its helm was Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a man revered for his wisdom, composure, and dedication to the principles of Stoic philosophy. Though Rome's power stretched across vast lands, the empire faced constant threats, invading barbarian tribes at the northern borders, internal political struggles, and the relentless pressure of ruling a world-spanning empire. One fateful day, Marcus Aurelius received grim news. The barbarian tribes along the Danube had launched a massive assault, threatening the stability of the empire's northern territories. At the same time, a plague raged through Rome, killing thousands. Advisors, generals, and senators came to him with demands, opinions, and strategies, each conflicting with the other. The weight of the empire pressed down on Marcus like never before. As the emperor sat alone in his private study, his brow furrowed with the burdens of war and illness, he reached for his journal. This was his ritual. Writing down his thoughts helped him find clarity. The journal wasn't for anyone else. It was where he practiced his Stoic philosophy, reminding himself of the teachings that kept him steady in the storm. He dipped his quill in ink and wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He paused, reflecting on the meaning of these words. Marcus had long embraced the Stoic belief that much of life was beyond control. He could not stop the barbarian invasions. He could not halt the spread of disease. He could not force people to act as he wished. All he could control was how he responded to these events. The chaos outside his walls was beyond him, but his inner peace was entirely within his grasp. Marcus thought back to the early days of his reign. He had been eager to prove himself, to control every aspect of the empire. But over the years, he had learned the futility of trying to grasp what lay beyond his influence. The Stoics taught that fate, nature, and external circumstances would unfold as they would. What mattered was how he conducted himself in the face of those challenges. With that in mind, Marcus considered his situation. He could not stop the plague, but he could organize relief efforts, ensuring that aid reached the sick and that the empire remained stable. He could not immediately repel the barbarians, but he could send reinforcements to the borders and rally his soldiers with calm and resolve. He could not control the opinions and actions of his advisors, but he could guide them with wisdom and lead by example. Instead of panicking, Marcus chose to focus on what he could control: his decisions, his mindset, and his actions. The emperor summoned his generals and advisors once more. This time, his demeanor was calm, and his instructions were clear. He laid out a plan to fortify the northern border, dispatching trusted legions to protect the empire's frontier. For the plague, he appointed capable officials to manage the crisis, ensuring that order was maintained within the city. He did not promise that all would go according to plan, but his confidence in his approach reassured his people. His calmness in the face of overwhelming adversity inspired those around him. In the days that followed, Marcus faced numerous setbacks. The plague continued to spread, and battles on the front lines were lost, but he did not waver. He knew that while the outcome was not his to decide, his efforts, his discipline, and his focus on what he could control would be his legacy. One evening, as the emperor walked through the streets of Rome, he observed how life carried on despite the hardships. People tended to their daily lives, families gathered for meals, and soldiers trained for the battles ahead. He realized that, like them, he too could only live one day at a time, responding to each challenge as it came without being consumed by fear or worry for the future. Returning to his study, Marcus once again took up his quill and wrote in his journal, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." With these words, Marcus reminded himself of a profound truth: that life, in all its chaos, uncertainty, and struggle, was still a gift to be embraced fully. His role as emperor was not to control the world, but to live virtuously within it, making the best of each moment, no matter how difficult. In the months that followed, the barbarian invasion was pushed back, and the plague eventually subsided. Marcus Aurelius' legacy would be one of wisdom, not because he conquered every external enemy, but because he mastered the one within his mind. He remained the calm at the center of the storm, an emperor who understood that success was not about controlling every outcome, but about controlling oneself.